everybody. What's going on? How do you do? My name is Steven. This is Pedro. And we are Two Mics and Theories. And we're back. Another week. Another episode. And we're just going to get into it. How much water have you drank today?
Let's see. When I wake up, I drink a cup of water in the morning. And then after that, I had a green tea. And then after that, I had about 20 ounces. So probably in total, like 50 ounces.
Damn.
Why? What about water?
No, nothing. I was actually thinking about it earlier today at practice. I tend to only drink water while I'm at practice.
Wait, so what do you drink? I'm assuming you drink water at home when you're thirsty. Or do you get some other kind of drink like Coke or Gatorade or something like that?
I do a very good job of not drinking Coke unless I'm out. My vice, we had Tang at the house. So Tang is just easier to pour.
Yeah.
A lot more delicious. But yeah, at practice I could go through 2 of those 40-ounce hydro flasks.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just within like a 2, maybe 3 hour period. The rest of the day kind of struggles.
Wait, you don't have a water bottle that you carry around?
I only carry it around in my duffel bag when I'm going to practice.
You ever see pictures of the LA River when it was actually a river?
No.
How was I looking at it? Oh, I was looking at it for something to do with one of my characters that I was looking at. I ended up looking at the LA River, and apparently it was actually a river that would flood the homes that were built around it. There was actually a specific type of fish that lived in that river. I think I want to say it was a bass type of fish. I don't know, but the pictures I saw, the fish was about this big, and it inhabited the LA River when it was a river. Not anymore.
Damn. How long ago?
Believe it was the early 1900s, late 1800s.
Oh, that's a long time ago then.
I guess it depends. I think it's kind of recent. It was just 100 years ago.
Yeah, in comparison to how old like the universe is, but in comparison to how old we've been alive, that's a long time ago.
I don't know. I wouldn't even. I see what you're saying, and I think you're right, but I just think it depends how you look at it. I don't really see it as that long ago. That's 1 generation ago. Maybe 2. But yeah, there was a fish that used to live there. And wait, what about water? Oh yeah, you're not drinking enough water. Yeah, you don't have a water bottle?
I mean, I do. I have those hydro flasks, but I only carry them when I go to practice.
So when you go to work, you don't carry a water bottle with you?
No, we have a water dispenser machine hooked up to the kitchen. It like filters water.
Have they cleaned the coffee maker at your building?
Yes.
Oh, they do?
I saw them do it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I saw them do it.
Because where I worked before, I don't know if they ever cleaned it. The entire 3 months I was there. I mean, maybe they did and I just wasn't there.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, I saw it because I started to feel kind of icky for you keep continuing to use it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I came in one day and it was clean. And then one of my coworkers came in and she was like, "Oh, they finally cleaned it." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I guess they did."
Wait. When I mean clean, I mean did they decant it? Did they pour in a little solution that would get rid of all like the grime that's stuck in the coffee maker? Or did they just like clean the outer part of it?
No. So I would assume they did, just because obviously when whoever gets there first and makes the coffee, I mean you kind of got to look into it. It was pretty clean, so I would say they did.
All right, well hopefully they did.
But yeah, man, the month of November just ended. A lot of people, I believe, can start to shave. A lot of people can start to fap. What else can a lot of people start doing that they could not do for the month of November?
Well, it's no shave. And then it was no... Wait, what was no shave for? No shave was for breast cancer? Oh,
I don't know how that correlates to not shaving. But I don't think it was for breast cancer.
what was no shave November for?
The only thing that comes to mind is something I saw in The Office, where they did an episode on that, and they were kind of making fun of how creepy people get, or how creepy they start to look. And one of the dudes went up to like this family and was like, "Oh, smile if you hate prostate cancer," but they just made him look really creepy. So it might be that, I don't know.
And then no fap was... What was no fap for?
I have no idea.
Wasn't it just to take a stand against women and for men to get their... How should I say this? To show that we're not that helpless to women using sex as a weapon against us. So it was a stand like, no, we don't need to have, or you can't use sex as a weapon against me. Therefore, I'll prove it to you by not fapping. I thought that's what it was for.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you actually.
Then that's the only two that I know where that November is connected to, and Thanksgiving and Black Friday and such.
I never asked you, how did you end up doing in your writing challenge?
I killed it in my fantasy league. I had to stop. So I got to 20,000 words.
20,000 out of 50.
Yeah, so by the end of December, I think I'll just pace myself with 1,000 a day. Or in December, I'll pace myself with 1,000 a day. So then by the end of December, I should have more or less 55 to 60,000.
Damn.
I think it was 1,667 words was too much. Especially because I'm coming up with the story at the same time that I'm writing it. So it slows me down a lot more. Because if it was just the act of writing itself, that'd be easy. It would take 2 hours, more or less. But I have to write it and then come up with the story at the same time. And the backstory at the same time. And then the prequel? And what's the one after the prequel? I guess the regular story after that. The prequel and the sequel. Because it looks like the second one is going to be a prequel. Or it's going to happen at the same time as the first one from someone else's perspective.
Ooh, I like those kind of stories.
And then the last one would be the sequel to the first one. To the first and second one, I guess.
Have you ever seen Vantage Point?
I've heard about it. I don't remember. I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's just like how you just described it. It's the same story, and you see it from each person's point of view. So it opens up with you seeing it what happened from like a first person point of view, and then it rewinds, and then you see it from somebody standing outside, and then somebody from another corner, and all those characters get interconnected like at the end. But it was pretty tight how everything comes together.
No, I have seen. I remember it now. I remember it was some kind of presidential murder.
Something like that, yeah.
It was yeah, and it tells everyone's story, and they connect by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen it.
I like those. I think Crash was another one that was like that, but not per vantage points at the end. Like everyone's stories comes together.
Are there any stories that for Halloween they tell scary stories, and then for Christmas they tell Christmas stories? What Christmas stories do you know?
The basic ones that we've heard all our lives.
Which ones?
Rudolph, the Red-Nosed Reindeer,
The Grinch,
the Grinch.
Charlie? What was Charlie? What was Charlie and Not Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. But what was the other Charlie?
Charlie Brown?
Charlie Brown. I always forget him.
Those are Christmas stories?
They are nowadays, I guess.
I got a beef with Rudolph.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
What about Rudolph?
I hate that story.
I don't even remember. I just know that he was a reindeer. He worked in the deplorable conditions for a boss that owned a monopoly on giving certain gifts to individuals. So much so that he became so powerful that stories were told of him. He was so power hungry that he didn't even have to wear a suit. He wore his nightgown to work. And he chose any hour of the time to work, and he always chose the night. Because he fucking could.
That's an intriguing way of looking at it.
Hold on, I'm not done. So much so that the people, they started to hate him. They despised him. And he couldn't live amongst them anymore. Because before, he used to live in the center of the city. That's where he would stay. But as he got more powerful, he started to leave and build his home farther and farther away until he got pushed to the point where he got to the farthest end that anyone could ever get to in the US, Antarctica. So he set up shop there. And over time, this individual was actually immortal. And as time passed, the people forgot and mixed up the story. Rumor has it he might have changed it. He might have made his way down himself and changed it, but no one really knows. And after a long period of time, the story of him being this monopoly driven person changed into him being the opposite of that, which would be someone who only gives. And that's how Christmas started.
All right. I heard it was just my version of it, which is it was a scam by the Coca-Cola company.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I think they created the image of Santa Claus or something like that.
Was it Coca-Cola the first company to
market it like that, I believe. I don't know if they actually created it. I don't know. I might have all this jumbled up, but...
Because let's say this was the 1800s. Was there a Santa Claus?
I don't know. I mean, I think they might have had that Saint Nick thing.
Is that actually a saint, though? As in a religious saint? Like Saint Augustine and all the other saints? Is there a Saint Nick?
Maybe.
Or if religion, business, and state were to connect, Saint Nick from the Bible turned into the business Santa Claus, which turned into the religious Saint Nick? Religion, business, and what was the other one I said? Religion, business, and something else. And then Coca-Cola used it to promote, because I would assume when they promoted, they weren't promoting Santa Claus, they were promoting family. Kind of like the Sam Adams beer commercials that they have.
Oh, the recent ones?
Yeah. The ones with all the comedians.
Yeah, they toast somebody. And...
Yeah, what do you think they're promoting when you saw the Sam Adams thing?
Unity, inspiration. They're selling you that the act of not drinking but being with somebody while drinking.
Yeah, I would say so too. The beer just happened to be a mediator.
Yeah,
kind of like when you go out to eat. How we ask each other to go out and eat when we really just want to talk to each other, but the food is just kind of the road, the ticket, the thing that we do, kind of like that. You saw all of them, all 6 of them?
The only one I haven't seen yet is just Whitney's.
Which would you like the most?
So far, I like Theo's.
Okay, and you've seen all of them except Whitney's.
Except Whitney's, yeah. So I saw Ari's, Tom's, Brendan's. There's another one too.
Wait, say it again.
Ari, Tom's, Brendan's.
Joe Coy's.
I saw Joe Coy's.
Theo and Whitney.
Yeah, Theo and Whitney. And I saw Theo's, not Whitney's. But I like Theo's the best. Just because, I heard them talk about it on their podcast. How it was kind of struggle for him because he doesn't drink. But how he turned it to benefit him, I like that.
Okay. Which one did you... I don't want to say not hate it or like the least, but which one... Yeah, I guess which one didn't you like as much as the others? Was your least favorite?
I wouldn't say it was my least favorite. It was just expected, and if I felt like I've seen it before, which was Joe Coy's.
Okay.
Because he just he toasted his mom, but if you know anything about Joe Coy, is that his mom was has always been his biggest inspiration. That's where he made his name, started making his name and his fame, because of all the jokes that included his mom. So it was kind of expected. Who else? Tom, he toasted his wife. He could have gone either way. He could have probably toasted Bert Kreischer. Brendan could have went either way. Toasted somebody else.
Dana White.
Dana White, that was funny. But, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I like Joe Coy's the best. That was my favorite.
Yeah? Did you get teary?
Not teary, but...
You felt it?
Yeah. I think that's why I liked it the most.
Don't get me wrong. It was filmed legit.
All of them were.
Yeah, I felt it, but I'm just saying, if I had to sort them out from first to last, I'd put Joe Coy last just because I kind of expected that. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they were all... I liked whoever shot them all, how they were all done. They're all pretty cool. The one I would put as last that I personally didn't like the least would probably be what's his name? The Red Band. Not Red Band, but
Ari's.
And I only put him as my least favorite just because I didn't... It seemed like the point of the Sam Adams promotional campaign was to toast someone and to show them that they matter, why they're important to them. And I just didn't feel it for that one. Not that that Red Band wasn't important. It just felt more like they were kind of having fun, and when there was a serious moment, he kind of turned it into a joke, which was cool. But just, I don't know, I think that's why I liked it the least. But it was still great. It's not like it was bad. It's just I didn't feel the same emotion that I felt in all the other ones.
Yeah.
But I did like, but with that one I'm a little conflicted because I do like the shots where right before Red Band goes in, he has the two beers and he's kind of clicking them together, and he's just kind of looking around, and then in the background you can hear him talking. Oh, and Sam Adams, you know what? I want to toast someone, and then you see him clinking the bottles and kind of looking around. I think those were my favorite shots from all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And fuck, if he would have had that same emotion with that Joe Coy had with those shots, I think it would have been the best one, hands down. It would have been super dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, conflicted with that one. But they were all shot well. The music was great. They were, I like how they toasted each other, and it was cool.
Yeah, they're definitely good. Does that make you want to toast somebody with the Sam Adams?
Have you ever had a Sam Adams?
Yeah.
Is it good?
I've had some good ones and I've had some kind of not the greatest ones.
Wait, what do you mean good and bad ones?
So each beer company makes different flavors of beer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they have like their Boston Lager, they have the summer something, and then the one that they're promoting now is a I don't remember what it's called actually.
Well, in the promotional videos, they said Boston Lager.
Oh, it is the Boston Lager?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I've had that one. The Boston Lager is actually decent.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had other ones where just like,
Would you ever buy it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have. I remember, I want to say the first time I had it was like at a B-Dubs where they had it. And I was like, oh, I want to try this. But if I went to Boston, I'd probably get it there. They probably have like a more of a they probably have more of a variety there. I think out here we could only get like the more mainstream ones that they tend to.
So does that mean that the Samuel Adams is based in Boston?
Yes.
Huh. Okay. So their main factory or their main headquarters is in Boston. Or brewery? Their main brewery?
Somewhere on the East Coast, probably. It might not be in Boston, but it'll be in Massachusetts. I've always had trouble pronouncing that state.
I'm not even sure where it's at, other than it's somewhere in the East Coast.
Where it gets cold.
What state? How far down does it go before it stops to snow? I would assume it's the same at... Does it snow in Portland?
Yeah.
So then if we draw a line from Portland, and it wouldn't be a straight line because the globe curves, unless you believe it's flat, then it doesn't. But if we draw a line from Portland to the East Coast, then I would assume that that's the cutoff where it stops to snow.
Maybe, but it snows in Texas.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is that just because of the elevation of Texas? Kind of like it snows here, like in Big Bear and Mammoth.
I don't know, because I mean I've been to Fort Worth and Dallas, and I've seen. I mean I have family that lives over there, and I've seen them post things with the snow, and they live right. You know, it's more ranch than anything. And I've seen snow.
Whenever you get new information, do you try to memorize as much as you can?
I don't see why not. But it would have to be something like relevant. I feel like I would need.
But you wouldn't know if you need it until you used it.
True.
Like for example, let's say you learned how to what's it called when you get handcuffed and you're able to unlock yourself, to take the handcuffs off. Is there a term for that? To unlock yourself, to
escape
Oh yeah, you're escaping the handcuffs, but I feel like there's a specific word. But whatever, let's say you learn the skill of escaping handcuffs with with a paper clip, and you learned it and you never used it until maybe you used it once when you were at a friend's house and they handcuffed you and they left you. You used it once after like 12 years. So it wasn't useful for 12 years, but then after that, then it became useful. So I say to say we don't really know when it's useful until it's used. So how would you distinguish what's useful to you and what's not?
Well, that analogy you gave is more of a skill than knowledge.
Well, aren't they both connected? Because don't you need the knowledge to have the skill? Because then isn't everything a skill?
I would argue that there's a difference in between knowing how to do it and actually doing it.
Okay. So like I think you're talking more like memorizing a date. Like having information that's not a
Mm-hmm.
skill. Like the the when the Emancipation Proclamation was. Like knowing that date. That's not a skill, that's just something, that's just the memory you have.
Ooh, yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, so then how do you distinguish what information, I guess, is useful to you and not useful?
Dude, that's up in the air. I think it's just what I want to keep, I guess. Like if I automatically think something is boring or I'm just not that interested, I'm not gonna want to retain it.
Okay. So you're separating it by whether it's interesting to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think
So like if I see some type of jujitsu video and I like the move, or I say, oh, this can actually help me, then I have that interest and I want to learn. I want to see it from every angle, and then keep it. So then next time I hit the mats, I can try and implement it myself. But if it's something like, I don't know how to plant like some type of flower, I'd be like, I mean that's cool, but I'm not rushing to memorize everything.
So then you said you would want to memorize, or not memorize, you would want to know the information for for example, jujitsu move. So then why would you want to know a taekwondo kick?
Depends on what it would be used for.
Hmm. Because, so I brought that up to say it sounds like you're saying, and I would assume that people would want to know as much as they can based on their interests, hobbies, and their career. So jujitsu would be a interest slash hobby, and your career would be whatever you're doing, and that information would be immediately important to you, and you would want to know, well, I would assume you would want to know how to do it and the information that's needed for that profession. So I guess because when we started, I said when we started, I said, so what do we? What did I say? Something. How do you store information, or what information do you keep?
Yeah, how do you determine what information you find useful? I don't know. I don't remember the exact word for word
Alluding
question.
to how much information do you deem useful, and do you want to remember? Like, do you want to remember just random facts? Do you try to remember as much as you can? I think
I
that's what I
mean,
said.
ideally, I'd want to remember everything. I would, have you ever seen those TV shows where the main character just has this like photographic memory and he can go back to like very, very small detailed instances from his childhood and it'll help him and I think a lot of times he's like a detective and he uses that info to help him crack the case.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's super cool. I would love to have that type of you know, memory or brain function, but realistically, I can't do that, so I have to pick and choose.
No, no, but if you could, would you?
Hell yeah.
And then I was on board with you for a while that I would do it too. It was only until recently where I said, nah. So it does sound cool, right? When you can have all the information, then you can, where, you know how we take a picture with our phone and then it saves that image?
Yeah.
Like if our eyes did that and then our brain was an infinite storage drive.
Yeah.
So we can always have perfect recall. And kind of, I think in those detective shows or movies where like whoever the detective is with that superpower ability, he closes his eyes or lays back or does something, and he like physically or imaginatively goes back to where he was at, and he's like looking around. Oh, on this day, 3 years ago, September something, I went to the store and I remember seeing 3 chip bags on the aisle on the floor and 2 individuals, and then he could see it as if it was a picture, and not only see it but walk around and like analyze everything as if it was the first time. That sounds cool, but as you said, we can't do that. So by us doing it right now, even though we can't do it, then it's just, if we do try to do it, then we're just memorizing information that will eventually just interfere with what's really useful.
Yeah.
You following? All right. So have you ever heard of, I believe, damn, I just forgot the name, James Conan Doyle? James Conan Doyle? Arthur Conan Doyle. I think it's Conan Doyle.
Whichever way it is, no.
You ever heard of Sherlock Holmes?
Yes.
He's the author.
Oh. For some reason, I've always thought that Sherlock Holmes was the author of Sherlock Holmes. Kind of like the Cat in the Hat thing. You always hear Dr. Seuss, and you just imagine the Cat in the Hat as the author.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
Huh.
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. That was the author's name for the Sherlock Holmes novels. They were originally he was originally a medical doctor who did writing on the side, and then his medical career was going nowhere, but his writing career was kind of
booming.
It wasn't booming, it was profitable.
And
then he eventually had to make a choice. He's either going to commit to one or the other, and he's committed to writing because that was gaining more progress than the other one.
Yeah.
So he fully committed, and then the Sherlock Holmes, they were originally short stories for newspapers, so people could read them on their way to work. And then eventually they became novels. And they're pretty much short stories. I guess some of them are a bit longer. But when I was reading A Scarlet and Red, and you meet Watson and Sherlock, when Watson first meets him, Sherlock appears to be someone with a photographic memory, kind of like the detectives who could like analyze everything. But then very early, within the first book, in the first pages, you find out that he doesn't really know anything. Watson asked Sherlock if he knows that the Earth travels around the sun, and he says no. Watson asked Sherlock about politics, and he doesn't know anything about politics. He doesn't know anything except biology, literature, chemistry, about trees, about dirt, just about anything that would benefit him in I want to say CSI, but in determining someone's death and finding who killed them.
Do you think that's just because he knows he has this type of memory, and that drive for him to actually learn it dissipates?
No, he explains why.
In the book.
Yeah. So it's not that he has like super memory or anything. He's just a regular person, but he doesn't see the need to know anything about politics. Why would he have to know if it doesn't necessarily affect them?
That makes sense.
Or why does he have to know about gardening or about sports when it doesn't really affect him and what he wants to do, which is solve cases? Then he goes on to explain that I think Watson questions him about politics and about other stuff that's really common to everyone, but that he just doesn't seem to have value in. So he asks him, why don't you want to know about this or that? And then he says, imagine that our mind is like an attic. It's a huge attic. and we can organize all our furniture, which would be our memories and information, in that attic however we like. Why would I want to put just a bunch of cluster of things that I don't need or that aren't going to be useful to me now or possibly later, and just fill it up and stuff it? If I do that, then the stuff that is important is going to get blocked / forgotten, and I won't know it anymore. So I just don't take the time to learn things that I'm not going to use or that don't benefit me in what I'm doing.
Damn, that's a good point.
But then that's why I was kind of like conflicted with that, because there's information that might help you that you might not know could help you. But I see what he's trying to say, but then it's also, you don't know what information might be helpful now or later.
True.
Well, what do you think?
He makes a good point. Only because the attic analogy made sense to me because of my room. I have stuff, in the corner of my room, and then it gets blocked by other stuff that I put in front of that. And then finally, when I clean my room, I'm like, oh, yeah, I have this. And if I hadn't cleaned my room, then I would have, forgotten about it. So it's kind of the same thing. Maybe what I'm doing right now in my profession, I decide I don't want to do that anymore. And that'll be the act of cleaning my room. So I still have that knowledge, but I'm not going to use it anytime soon. So just rather get it out of here. Use it for something else. But then it never really goes away. It more or less would go into like a storage room that I pay for, like down the block or something.
I wouldn't say it doesn't go away. I think it eventually would go away if it's not being used. Because it's not like you're physically storing it somewhere else. It's just still in there, but it's still in your immediate memory. But if you're not using it, then it's not stored long term.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe because at that point it'd be like, oh, I'll put it in a random storage unit, and then when I realize it's getting full, hold the yard sale, and then that'll be equivalent to just forgetting about it.
But when you said yard sale, I thought of selling. Which reminded me of a YouTube video that I saw. Did I see it? I don't think I saw it. It was a 15-minute short film that an Italian director made, where... Was it more than 15? It was a short film where the people in that world, they're able to sell their memories for money.
Ooh.
So they go into... it's kind of like a hospital. Bright lights, white coats, but they go in, and then I'm not sure what the main story was, but I do know in that world, you sit down and there's that Iron Man holographic screen. They sit down, they see it, someone comes up to them, and then they put on a Magneto, not Magneto, who's the other, Professor X kind of helmet, and then somehow they're able to sell their memories for currency. I don't know why, what's the purpose of that, but that's just what I got from the trailer. And I never saw it just because it was in... Or did I see it? No, I didn't see it. I saw the trailer for it.
Damn, that's tight. That's a pretty good concept.
Yeah.
Selling memories, though, I think it would be for some journalistic purposes. Like, oh, I got a story. I'll sell it to you. And you could do the whole traditional me telling you how it went and everything, but it'd be easier just to sell you the memory. Boom.
So yeah, like a novel, but instead
Yeah.
of writing it, you're selling the memory. So it's like a sold biography, kind of. Well, no, because it's a memory. Yeah, I guess it would be like a sold biography because it's being told from your point of view.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just won't be an autobiography.
Right. Well, it would be a non-fiction story because it actually happened, but it's not. Nah. Actually, wouldn't it be an autobiography? Because an autobiography is about you, and if
I think it's autobiography when you yourself write it, and it's just a biography when someone else writes it about you.
but isn't it auto because it's your memory?
I thought it was auto just because it was like yourself.
No, and where you're selling your memory, wouldn't it be considered technically an auto memory?
Oh, probably. I think just in the way the book title would be named, it'd be like, oh, the life of insert here, told by the memories or something
of XY, whoever. Huh.
What constitutes a short film?
Anything under an hour.
Oh yeah. Huh. So I could film something that has a beginning, a middle, an end. That's 10 minutes, and that's a short film.
Film it in 30 seconds, and that's a short film. Yeah, short film's weird. It's has a weird. There's no real time limit. It's just a short film. Feature would be anything over an hour.
Feature. Damn.
All right, what you got?
What do I got?
I feel very autopilot today. Not autopilot. Like calm.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah. Just feel relaxed. I don't know why.
Do you think the withdrawal symptoms from not drinking coffee are going away?
Oh, that went away a long time ago. Like a day ago. Well, it's been 2 weeks, so it went away. By day 7, the worst of it was gone. By day 9, it was pretty much gone. And today's what, day 13, I think. 13.
Shoot. That's crazy.
Not drinking coffee? Not really.
Yeah.
Kind of. I guess 90% of Americans drink coffee.
Well, yeah. Actually, I say it now because I blame you, actually. Because before I wasn't really a coffee drinker. And then all those trips to Starbucks, it kind of started like wanting it more.
So all right, let's break this down then. So by you associating with me and having coffee around you, then that made you start drinking coffee.
No, because I did drink it here and there, but now I drink it a lot more routinely. Like I wake up and I'm like, then the first thing I go to is, oh, y el café, and you know, and especially more now that it's cold.
Yeah.
It's the idea of like, oh, it's cold, you have something nice and warm in your hands, and you're just sipping it, enjoying the ambience of like it being wintry.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me want it more. But it's not like I'm not at the point where like if I don't have it, I'm just all cranky and bummed out.
Mm-hmm.
But there has been an increase of my actual coffee intake. There has been an actual increase because of all those Starbucks trips.
All right. The only thing I would say is I've been with you and Ruben to a lot of places where there was alcohol, and never once did I ever feel like, you know what, I'm gonna get a beer. Especially now that it's nice and hot, I can get a nice cold beer. Nah, I'll just get a water, please.
Okay, that's
that's the only thing I would say.
All right, you got me there. You got me there.
Have you ever not had a cup of coffee and then you feel like you get a little headache?
I have felt that before, but it's rare.
Wait, but you drink 1 cup every day in the morning? Morning cup?
Mm-hmm.
Any second or third?
Very rare. Usually when I don't sleep, that I'll have that second or third cup. But it doesn't really help me wake up.
Maybe you got accustomed to it already?
I don't know. Because even if I just drink 1 cup in the morning, it doesn't really help me wake up. It's just the act of sipping on it warms me up.
Damn, last night I was looking at I really wanted a cup of coffee, and so when I want a cup, I try to do something that has to do with coffee. So for example, like go online and like look at videos of like people withdrawing from coffee. So I remember. So do something, or even just research coffee, like the plant and where it's planted, just so kind of like I'm satisfying the crave, but without drinking it. So last night I was looking at a TED Talk that was done in 2012 about this guy was giving a presentation, I believe in Bali, how he made a machine. It was a regular grill and it had a barrel. And when I say a barrel, I mean like a Pringles cup, the aluminum cup, just bigger, like this big. The circle's about this big.
Yeah.
It's about this big. A barrel, a steel barrel with holes in it. And he would put, what was it, unroasted coffee in there. And then he would roast it himself. And he was making the argument that unroasted coffee, or roasting your coffee yourself and having it within that week that it's roasted, is the healthiest and the best tasting cup of coffee that he's ever had, and that more people should do it. And as soon as it ended, I said, I'm fucking sold. I'm not gonna drink coffee, but if I roast it myself, then it's all good.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Nah.
Because when you said you like to do things that have to do with coffee, I thought you were gonna say something like you want to do something that'll satisfy that itch. So maybe like smelling it would kind of
do that too.
Because I have a friend who quit smoking, and he's fine and everything, but whenever he has that like real itch where he wants to smoke, he'll grab one and just smell it. And then like it helps him like still refrain from actually lighting it up.
Okay.
So I don't know, maybe that'll help. You have a strong will.
It's fine. It's just after the first month. Because when I stopped last year, the first month, after the second week is when you really want it for the next 2 weeks. And then after that kind of just goes away. Kind of like the hot Cheetos. To stop eating hot Cheetos, the hot Cheeto thing was a bit longer. After 3 months, then you just don't really care. And I've had it after like 6 months of not having hot Cheetos. I bought a bag and then I ate half of it. And then I was like, I really don't want it. And I just threw it away. So that was the chips was super hard, specifically the hot Cheetos. And then the coffee, it wasn't as bad. But it's just the first month.
So you go ends though on your coffee.
Yeah. Got the strongest cup I had was probably like a month and a half ago, where I had 6 shots and it did nothing. 6 shots of espresso, and I was like, fuck, I was thinking to myself, fuck, I should add it a 7th.
When before you stopped drinking coffee, did you know that your last cup was going to be your last cup?
Yes and no. Because for the past 3 months, or maybe even 4, since summer, I knew I was going to give it up eventually. I just didn't know when. So I'm sure I'll have another cup. Someday, but definitely not within the next month. Maybe after that I might have one, but actually probably not. Maybe next on my birthday I might get one. I might make a Starbucks run on my birthday, but yeah, other than that, I don't want to make it a habit anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I have one every here and there, but I don't want to make it to where I have it in the morning, and then the morning turns to morning and then afternoon, and then the afternoon turns morning to afternoon to like then 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've heard stories of people saying, "All right, this is gonna be my last cigarette, so I'm gonna really enjoy it," and then, boom.
Nah, fuck that. I'll have a chip bag again. Just if we go to a party, like if there's some hot Cheetos, I get a little plate, add some on there and eat it. It's not the eating it that's bad or the coffee. For these two things, it's just coffee and chips.
Yeah.
But if it was like a serious drug, then that'd be different. But it's just coffee and chips. I'll still have them. I don't want to make it a habit where, like, when I have my favorite show, then I have a bag of chips, or when or every morning I have my cup of coffee. Fuck that. I'll just stick to tea, green tea or cinnamon tea, just teas.
Or decaf.
You heard what I said yesterday? You remember what I said yesterday? Nah, fuck the decaf thing. That's like getting a Coke Zero, where it's 0 calories, but they ramp up the sugar, so it's just as bad, if not worse. Nah.
Well, I don't envy you.
Why?
Because I'm not going to stop drinking coffee. I like it.
Yeah, it's all good.
But I don't have a problem with it. I don't go crazy with those 6 shots. But I do put a lot of creamer in it.
Oh, that was the only thing. The creamer is very sweet. Makes it taste delicious.
Fuck, yeah. I think that's my only pitfall. If I make it too sweet, I'll drink it like juice.
Yeah, when I wanted to get off it, I forced myself to drink it black because it tasted nasty.
Oh, that's a good.
But then I got used to it. So it worked because I would cut back, but then I started to get used to just drinking it black. And not used to it as in like it tasted better. Used to it, when I say used to it, I mean I forced myself. And I wouldn't like wanna like gag it out.
Yeah.
Where it was bearable now.
Even just thinking about it, I feel like it makes my breath stink.
It does yellow teeth. And it does give you bad breath. But it just depends how much you have, and yeah, it just depends on the amount that you have. And what you eat, and just a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, fuck that. Cream me up. French vanilla, please. Thank you.
Yep, you heard it here. Cream Pie Steven.
Well, in that case, good luck on all your endeavors. And, shoot, sign us off.
All right, bye.
Peace.